Government has R1 trillion to spend this financial year, but at least 73 entities were unable to account adequately for the expenditure over the last year. The Auditor General says while there have been major improvements over the past year, failing to follow the law is still a major concern. Of the 469 audits concluded, only 119 received clean audits, while a whopping 238 are still outstanding. Irregular expenditure totals 63 billion rand. Almost half of that from previous year was only picked up in this audit. This is money that has been spent without following proper procedure. While the Western Cape came out tops with 78% of clean audits, Gauteng made the biggest improvement. The Free State, Northern Cape and Northwest showed some improvements in managing their money, while KwaZulu-Natal and Mpumalanga showed very little. But it is the Eastern Cape and Limpopo whose books are in a shambles. In Limpopo, where 5 departments are still under administration, the situation is deteriorating to a point that the education department could again not be audited.
In Limpopo, certainly in the current year, that yellow, which was one of those that were giving hope for an increasing number of entities that are going to get unqualified, that space is shrinking and is now being replaced by an additional number of adverse and disclaimed audits, as well as qualified audits in that province.
22 out of Limpopo's 23 auditees failed to comply with the law. In the Eastern Cape, irregular expenditure is on the increase, totaling 2.6 billion rand this financial year.
The big part of that compliance has a lot to do with procurement-related activities. And if there's no clear, transparent process that is governed by regulations when it comes to supply chain, we never know whether they spend more than what they should have spent, or whether they did indeed receive all the goods that they ought to have received.
The Auditor General says Parliament needs to put tighter controls in place to curb irregular expenditure. Bonga Dlulane, Parliament.